A long way from home. This is Brazil.
James McFadden scores for Scotland. The afternoon belongs to Lewis Vaughan. Make it 3. It's 3-0.
So today we're joined by a special guest, Cole Stars, one and only. Great to catch up with you. Cole, how are you doing?
Yeah, all good, mate. Been good, obviously. Not seen you for a while, so good to catch up on all things football, I suppose. But been all good.
Yes, so we go back to days at the Caledonian Braves.
Yep.
Obviously, you're still coaching there as well. Me and Fraser. You missing us on the commentary around there?
Of course. It was always good to see he's about the place. Good work he's done at the time. So yeah, it is obviously a good time to catch up, and obviously we have obviously had some good memories there as well. So good to reflect on that as well, I suppose.
No, it was good. We loved our time at the Braves. I thoroughly enjoyed like a bit of commentary and then seeing you guys. It's a great setup down there, great club, and you're having a good season so far. Definitely a good season, but obviously you'd probably be wanting to be pushing.
Of course, I think obviously you get into the season with a different mindset depending on what you've achieved the previous season. Obviously, last season was the best season when I've been there as a player and a coach. Obviously, we got the joy in the finished trophy, and obviously finished third in the league. It was probably not a surprise, but it was obviously a very good reward for a hard season because it was more fixtures than we had. Obviously the South Cup at the time as well, and obviously the Phoenix were going abroad. So to get that high position in the league, you're thinking, well, how do we progress? Obviously, you're looking at maybe what did the other teams do above you? How do you match that? How do you better that? And obviously, last season we went on. Obviously, you've kind of seen it probably more, but the unbeaten run we were pretty early on. We were flying, and then obviously the upset of the Scottish Cup. But this season's been a bit different. It's been kind of more consistent in terms of results. We've not went on like a streak and then plummeted. It's been maybe lost a game here and we've won a good few. So listen, I think it's the league. There's not a lot in the league this year. Last season, obviously, School Pride had a lot of quality, with a lot of players as well, as you know. But this year, there's not a lot in the league. There's maybe 2 or 3 teams pushing up there, and every player's on that similar level. There's no. If you ask me per team, there obviously is good players in each team, but there's no ones you're going, well, that's a league winner. I think obviously the teams are fairly balanced. So no, listen, we're still sitting in 4th place just now. There or thereabouts. There's still 10 games to go for us, but I think it's just stay positive and see what we can do. There's no problem with keeping going.
No, it's always a entertaining, difficult one to sort of predict coming into the season as well. So we'll catch up Lowland League, a bit about your career. So clubs you've played for then?
Clubs I played first, just from the very start or from...
We'll go from the start, why not? Yeah.
The very start? Oh, God. So first, boys club wise? We're going that far back?
Yeah, I wasn't thinking
we can't go that far back. That's centuries ago.
Local shout-outs, yeah.
With the Kieran Bowie transfer to Hellas Verona, I'm seeing everyone's Glenrothes strollers, is it?
Yeah.
They're
I don't know the strollers these days, but
they're not. No.
Yeah.
But they're getting a lot of love on Twitter. People saying that they'll get a bit of money, and then so he's going all the way back to his. But so if you want to, why not?
No, so just pre sort of teen years, I was at Airdrie Boys Club, which was a great setup. It was kind of more parent coached, but the coaches I had there were great. Kenny Ralston and Ricky Eardley supported me a lot. Got offered to get into, so they were kind of helping out with Airdrie Pro Youth at the time to feed up. Got offered to go in there. Didn't want to go because at the time we were doing really well as a boys club. Like we had the 4 trophies to play for: the league, the regional, the Scottish, and the League Cup. So it was one of the ones I was like, do I push on right now? And obviously you're going to a high level, but do I push on and leave my mates and the chance to actually win trophies? Because obviously at that time Pro Youth is not competitive; it's just games, essentially arranged friendlies.
How many are we scoring these days?
Back then, a lot of goals. That season, the season that we won the 3 trophies, we lost out on one of them. That season, I finished that season with 207.
200?
Yeah.
What? Jesus.
We did play...
No wonder you didn't want to leave.
We did play about 70 plus games. I can remember...
That's three goals a game.
Yeah, there was one game we played a Lark Hall team, and it was I think it was a midweek league game, summertime. I remember it was great. We had a bright, actually this colour of kit at Airdrie, bright pink strip, and
It's your favourite colour, right?
it is a nice colour.
See
I
a lot
do
of
like
that.
my bright colours. We were talking about that with the boots earlier, but no, that I'd scored 5 in the first half, and the coach usually would take, like, our coach was quite fair. He'd give the boys a lot of game time because he knew we had a really good, we had basically a team with a good defender, really good midfield, and I actually sometimes played off like one of the front three because we had a boy, Jack, who was quite a, like they say, his play style was like Morelos type. Like, he was so angry and aggressive, and like for a young age, and I'm going, but so I used to maybe just play off him just to sweep up his battles. So scored 5 in the first half, and the coach is at half time, and I was expecting just come off, and that was me sitting beside my dad and just talk about the game, and you done well there. And he's like, I want 10 from you, and I'm like, 10? He's like, yeah, I want you to go out, because the goal difference mattered at that point as well, because the team Gervaston, they're a local Motherwell team, they were flying as well. They had a good few players that ended up playing pro youth as well. So I finished the game with 10 goals and they took me off. So the season after that, moved to Motherwell, obviously in pro youth. Had a good few years there throughout the time of the youth academy, just before full time. Played with the youth team, the Scotland national team as well, at 15, 16s. That was really good. Like, when I think back on it, I was talking to obviously Reg McLaren yesterday at the side of the pitch before the game at the warm up. I was going, you don't actually realise how much you'd actually done and enjoyed until now, and you go, God, I wish I'd actually. Obviously, as like I still kind of brand it as a kid, but you don't have the understanding of enjoyment. I didn't anyway. Like, I just sort of played football because I played football and I really loved it. But I actually wish I'd enjoyed the feeling of it now, because just then it was just like about churning. I wanted to do this. Whereas now I'm like, God, I must have actually been, like, I must have enjoyed that. But now you don't have that, because I'm not playing now. You don't have that feeling of the achievement of playing. So that was a good spell, all the way up to full time. Just pre-full time, tore my ACL for the first time, obviously, as you know from our chats previous. And like, I did think at that point, didn't think it was over, but I sort of thought, am I going to come back from this? And luckily I spoke to a few guys at the time, Nicky Devlin being one, Mikey Devlin, sorry, you need to cut that, Mikey Devlin being one, and then later actually Jamie Watson for the Braves put me in contact with Lewis Vaughan. I spoke to him, and just getting that understanding of people that can come back from it, because obviously at the time I'm 15, not got a clue what I'm in for. Like, I thought it was, we didn't know to start with, because obviously the physios, they didn't really want to tell you as a kid you're going to be out for a year. So go and get a scan, get told the bad news, and the next week Motherwell offered me a contract full time, and I was like, wow, because obviously that gives you the lift, because you think to yourself, I'm 15, I'm not yet full time, I'm an academy player. I thought it was just going to be out to the side and have to then just completely change my whole outlook. So that happened. Came back for that, great, like, no problems, was playing consistently.
How old were you when you sort of came back from that injury?
So when I came back for it, I'd been 16, and so 15, I'd done it at 15 in the December, got it done in the February, turned 16 in the April, and then obviously in full time in the June. So by the time I was back from it, it was November when I was 16, so I was pushing 17. So I always speak to people like this, I think I missed the most vital years of a youth career, because like, the step from youth football to full time is the hardest step, and missing that full first season, no pre-season, struggling with the strength work because you're only rehabbing, you're not doing the same work as the rest of the boys, you're not on the pitch as much. So instantly, obviously Stephen Craig was my coach there, with Steve McManus, and they knew me from previous years, but the transition, they both left the club in my first season at full time, and then Maurice Ross and Dermot Carroll and Darren Day came in. They didn't know me, so then I had something to prove to somebody, but I couldn't. So obviously you're down the pecking order right away without choice. Like, you've not done anything, but they can't say that they can consider you, or so you're instantly having to come back and try twice as hard as the rest of the boys that have had the year to bed in. So I found that tough, and it was probably a good thing that I had a good relationship with the senior staff and obviously the medical staff, because the manager Stephen Robinson at the time had known me from previous years as well, so it wasn't like they weren't totally blind. Obviously the coaches would have had a handover at some point, but the difficulty was, did they trust a young guy who'd been out for a year with an ACL? And it did hinder my chances to start with. Got my chance in the team, done quite well at the reserve level, training in and around the first team sometimes, and then boom, COVID. So it really put a dampener on it, and I feel like I was personally robbed of like the 16 to 18 stage of football, because it didn't really happen. It didn't flow. You went from being out for a long time to coming back to doing okay to then summer break, pre-season, good, came back really fit. Like, I didn't go on holiday that year, just really fit, came back flying, got a lot bigger, put the weight on and muscle that the sports science team wanted me to, and then obviously you had a 6-month window of playing to then COVID, so that was that spell. Came out of it after COVID. The SPFL stopped the reserve league. We had the kind of transition of, well, do you go part time then and just try and continue, or do you try and find another club that's willing to take you as a full time player? Had a few different trials and stuff. Got offered to go down to England at the time, and I just thought it'd maybe be better. Obviously, I'd seen a few boys that had been out on loan, a couple of years older than me. Jake Hasty was probably one of them at the time. I was looking at and going, he's done quite well. He'd come back to Motherwell and played at that point. I thought, maybe I'll go and try it at first team level. So I went to Forfar. Obviously, we were talking about it earlier. From Coatbridge to Forfar, it was one of the ones, God, this is a big risk, but it was at League One at the time. I thought, well, they had a lot of kind of younger players. Jordan Allen was there at the time, so he was doing quite well, and I'd kind of known about him from previous years. Obviously, he was at Airdrie and stuff, so I thought, well, good kind of player to model yourself on, go and trying it at a level. And at that point, I just went in blind. I thought, we'll sign here. Well, I was fit and stuff. I was still training kind of full time. I was working part time at the time, so it wasn't too much of an ask. I wasn't going knackered from work. I was still turning up fresh. I was training during the day if I wasn't at work. So went there. The manager obviously was. I didn't realise at the time. I just went in. It's a League One club. I thought we'll go in. The club struggled a wee bit in the first sort of 10 games. Didn't really change the team about much. Had a few boys on loan. They were getting on, and I was like, God, I was used to playing all the time, all the way from a teenager right through. And then at 18, you're not playing. I would play friendlies in the midweek against junior teams up there, and done fine. It wasn't a case of getting bombed out. It just came to the January, and I thought maybe this wasn't the right move. Kind of start back, go back to base, and just we'll try. So left the rest of that season, stayed fit, and I got in contact with my old boys club coach that I mentioned earlier, Ricky Eardley. He was then at the Braves 20s. And I thought, do you know what, I want to be training with a team, because the training yourself, you know yourselves, like going out the runs and just going down the park, you can't replicate a game. So I said, can I come in and train with you?
Imagine all that driving up to you were actually training in Forfar as well.
Yeah, we were training that.
You're probably driving as much as you are training as
well.
Yeah.
You were driving for an hour and 40 for an hour and a half training session. It just outweighed it, and you're going, it would have been effective if you played 90 every week and that you trained well, but you get to a point where, as a football player, your head's not in it if you're not playing and you're not considered. How can you be so enthused that you want to be there? So it became, I wouldn't say I got a lot out of it in terms of what I then felt and what I knew, because I didn't feel like the level of player was higher. Like, honestly, even I always speak to people, Lowland League up to League One, I felt there was an even kind of playing field of player. The players from each league could play in each league, but I just felt like a lot of the game I was missed out. So even when I came on, they were so good at defending, they didn't want the ball near the goal. So there was no low builds, and it was just like, get the ball forward, how do we attack? And I wasn't experienced as a male player at that point. I'd been used to being fast, playing off the shoulder of the defender, getting in behind. This was a lot more hold-up play, a lot more involved, more link play, and I didn't really have that experience at that point. So obviously you went from playing a lot as a kid to not playing for a year to being in and out. You lost that sharpness.
How so when you moved to Forfar, how did that move come about, and did you, like, were the discussions about how you'd be used
so
in the team before you went, or
I had
was it
been
just
in
kind of
on trial at Queen's Park when Ray McKinnon was the manager, and it was basically the week of Simon Murray signing that I was in and about training there for 2 weeks, and it was really good. And he spoke to me, he's like, listen, I'm signing Simon Murray, so there's not going to be much of a chance for you here. I can obviously put you in contact with a few guys that you could say, they were also League One at the time, that's when Queen's Park were pushing, and he said we can put you to some contacts. So I said, yeah, okay, fine, that's fine. So I'm not actually sure how I got in contact with the manager. I can't quite remember. It was either I had an agent at the time, I can't remember if it was him or if it was Ray, but I got in contact. The Forfar manager spoke to me, Stuart Malcolm at the time, and he was like, listen, you can come up here. get a couple of sessions. We'll see how it goes. I'm not saying I'm signing you, but we can certainly talk about that. Done 2 sessions. He's like, listen, would you like to sign? I was like, yeah. So, bit of to and fro, because we had quite a big squad. Now I think back, obviously you see most teams now. I always check the team lines most weeks to kind of update myself on who's playing. A lot of teams now don't have a lot of subs in League 1 and League 2. We had a full bench every week, and there would always maybe be 1 or 2 missing out. So it just came about off the back of being in at Queen's Park, being an ex-youth player at Motherwell, obviously the national team. I just went up. I went up blind. I didn't have an experience in lower league, so I didn't know what club to pick. I didn't have any experience of managers, or obviously now I've got a better network, but then I was just like, I want a chance. So I went up there. In terms of the role in the team that you're saying, there was never a discussion of, even like with other players, there was never a discussion of like, you're my starting 11 and you're my young subs. It was just like, he's got a team of players, very similar to like most managers. Even like you see lower league teams, they rotate quite a lot. I was expecting to, obviously you're going in thinking, I am this player, and you're going in expecting to play. And listen, I understand now why he's not trusting a 17, 18-year-old striker straight away. Like that's I totally get that. When I played a few games in my time there, came on against Cove Rangers in the League Cup at one point as well up there, and it was great. I'm going, God, I've got a chance. I'm on for 50 minutes. Now I look back at it, I'm going, I probably did deserve longer, but I understand why a manager wouldn't instantly throw his full kind of trust on a young guy. But that just, it's always something, like, I don't forget about it, but it's because it was quite a short stint. I just take out of it what I needed. So it was the experience of travelling. Like, game days were all away. Like, that season, I think it was only maybe 1 game, because you had to travel. Obviously it was still during the kind of restrictions, the lockdown restrictions, so we had to travel to a car. So like Cammy Redland that's at the Braves, me and him car shared, he was on loan there for St Mirren, so like we travelled to away games in the car. So you'd be maybe playing, there was only 1 game we actually managed to get, we were allowed on the bus because you were social distance on a bus, and we played Peterhead away. But I mean, I think, I'm trying to think, even like the pre-season friendlies, we drove to Arbroath, like, so it was a pretty hard ask at the time. And looking back, would I probably have, I mean, I had a few Lowland offers at that point. I probably would have, just to get maybe like the 15 games under my belt, and because like, listen, I've got nothing against travelling for it, but it became pointless when you weren't getting out of what you needed. So looking back, yeah, I probably would have went elsewhere, but still got a good experience out of it.
And it's a risk a risk worth taking. Like, circumstances could have been different, and
you're always 1 injury away from playing. That's what I always think of, and that might sound negative to the players you're playing with, but listen, if they're maybe unfortunate with illness, or 1 week they can't quite make it, you might be straight in the team, you don't know, like, unexpectedly. That was another thing. Like, at that point, I was getting utilised elsewhere. I was getting played in midfield. It was the first time, because I had good legs and good engine, so it was the first time I'd been sort of considered as not a striker, because he'd 3 good strikers. He had Jordan Allen, he had Scott Shepherd, and he had Stephen Doris. Obviously 207
goals, but maybe not. Yeah.
Exactly. So he had obviously a good kind of front line. Stephen Doris at the end of his career, but at midfield were a wee bit light. So I thought, well, do you know what? If I'm getting a chance to play anywhere, I will play.
That's
so I went in there.
Up there, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I just thought, get on the park, show what you can do. If it's midfield, just run about and make sure you don't. Like, literally, I just thought, get and run about. Like, because I was at a point where I hadn't run about for maybe 3-4 months. So yeah,
touch of the ball, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then that gets you to stage where Caledonian Braves under 20s.
Yeah. So spoke to the old coach, and then I went in, done 1 session with him up on a grass pitch up at Airdrie Leisure Centre. It was literally just like bag of balls, go and do a session. And after 1 session, they had another coach, Stevie Collins. He was in contact with obviously Ricky at the time with the 20s, and he was like, listen, Ricky does sessions for the lads during the day, because obviously you know yourself, the setup, there's kind of some lads that do come in during the day. He said, is that something you could make? He said, because I think he didn't want me being around their team for too long, because I mean, I'd played with a lot of the boys at the boys club like 5 years previous, but he's like, listen, I don't think it's effective you being here, like training with their team. I was like, well, because I thought, like, I was wanting just to come in. I would happily train with these lads because I know them and I'm friendly with them all. But he's like, listen, Ricky's doing sort of more 1-to-1 style set, not 1-to-1, but like a small group sessions.
Because there wasn't a huge amount of boys in there, was there?
No.
At the start, yeah.
When I went in there, I think Ricky had 8 signed players when I had just went in that season, and the majority of them were part-time. So I can remember training with Marky Kelly and Jamie Walker at the time in that summer. I went in about, so I was actually planning on not going back into a club till the summer pre-season from the February at Forfar, but I went in about the April, got to grips with it, got trained really hard, and hats off to him at that point. Like, I thought, I'm going in here, I'm going to be the fittest player, because obviously Jamie Walker pushed me to my limits, and it really helped me that season because I was always used to being really fit. Jamie Walker's really fit, so it was like a constant competition of who can be the fittest. So that really got me to a stage of, God, I've got the hunger back. Whereas the previous season, not to say badly, but I was in a more part-time mindset team before. For like, the guys were strictly part-time, so they knew that's what they wanted to do. Whereas going into the Braves, and Ricky did attract that style of player that had that desire to get back full-time, and you still do. Like, yourself, like, obviously Zach Butterworth, he was there that season as well that I played. So I know of all these guys for playing against them. So like, that's got to be a good thing for me, because known like them from previous academy years, they're all good, like, high achieving players. So I thought, right, okay, let's get this done. So signed there, loved it. Like, I loved it straight. That's the first time I've loved my football since being pre-ACL, honestly. And now that's hard to think about why I wasn't enjoying it for like 2 years, but it was probably just more so the missing out on the good side of it, like a good changing room that you feel part of, enjoying every session, knowing you're going to play a game. When you're in the game, you're going to be backed by your teammates, whereas I felt isolated as a young guy coming through a wee bit more. Obviously being in the physio bed 90% of the time for a year, it wasn't nice. But yeah, that led me to there. Then obviously I quite a short spell in the first season due to the recurring injury, which happened unfortunately, but I had a good spell, a good few goals, and I think I played around about 10 to 15 games up to the September. I actually really enjoyed it. Like, I felt like Ricky trusted me. I felt like he put me in there as, you're a player that can go and do it for me, and the team will run about you. I didn't feel like it was sort of just dropped in. Like sometimes you see players and just, oh, you play there. He did rotate the team, and I was out the team once or twice. Came on as a sub, done okay, but I did start the majority of the games. And the team we had that season, I really like. Now looking back on it, that team should have done a wee bit better, but we're just too young. And it was like the players we had. I mean, some of the players have gone on to. We were talking about it earlier. Like, some players should have probably pushed on at a higher level, but maybe found a level, and that's a good thing as well. That guys can be satisfied with, like, this is my level now, how do I do the best at this level, maybe push on, because I like to see a lot of the guys that I've played with still doing it. So that season ended playing wise pretty quickly for me, but I was still around the squad for the full season.
Yeah, because you talk about that sort of squad building then at the Cali Braves with Ricky Waddle, the manager there, and I think he spoke before, certainly when I was involved with the club as well, that he'd like to bring in players that are on that sort of upwards trajectory on their career. And the Lowland League's definitely one way. You could, without disrespecting anyone, you do get a bit of a mesh of players coming down the way. You also have players coming up the way, and it's a real sort of breeding ground for a lot of talent there, though.
100%. I think it's certainly one that you look at now and it's more attractive. Like, when I first went there, hands up, I didn't have a clue. A lot of the teams now, you've got. I think it's now evident that teams, it's not really difficult to get out of. Obviously, the playoff system, I think it should be a wee bit better to teams, but teams that come down the way, if you look at the kind of league clubs, the SPFL clubs, they don't come down and fly straight away. So I think they underestimate the level of player and even finance. Like, there's some teams that you see, they do struggle, and I don't like to see it, because you don't like to see clubs that maybe they do have to change their identity a wee bit. If they want to stick with that identity, stick with it and own it, but don't go from one pillar to post. So no, the talent level as you're talking about there in terms of player coming up and down, as I said earlier, I don't think there's a lot in it for like down to and up to. I don't think there's a lot in it, and I think it just really depends because as a part-time player, we were talking about obviously Forfar before we started here, but like, now would I travel that far if I was a player? I don't know. obviously I know a lot of boys that do, but the Braves really suited me in terms of it's 10 minutes from my house, so I'm not going to have that feeling of, God, I need to travel for 2 hours tonight. I might get stuck in traffic. I might not get home till 1 in the morning. That's the deciding factor. So see if there's a boy from Ayrshire that's got an Ayrshire team that's local to him, they're going to support him instead of going to play for Gretna, and it's a league below. That I totally understand that now, which is why you do maybe sometimes miss out on a player, because there's not a huge gap in money either between those leagues below, and sometimes teams below are maybe paying a bit more. So that's then the attraction. I think you see players go into the Lowland League that maybe do take a cut or whatever. I think that's quite impressive because they want to play at a level and push up the leagues. That's also totally fine. Like, I think you can't hate on that. You need to understand that if boys have got life run about it, that's maybe why they do fall into that category of being at another club that's maybe not pushing for the same kind of end goal.
It's interesting. You can, the way you're speaking there, it's football. Like, it's a simple game. Like, football doesn't change, but how you enjoy your football or how you perform on the pitch is so affected by your surroundings, how you're travelling, where, like, who your coach is. Like, how was it having a coach like Ricky that sort of understood you, and then just like having that environment that you just felt more at home than what you'd had maybe previously? Exactly.
It's the first time I'd actually looked into, because obviously you're at an age now, I was turning 19 that summer, you're at an age now where you're going, who is the manager? Because before, I put a top on, I put my boots on, shorts and socks, and go and play. Whereas now I'm going, well, I actually want that manager to want me, rather than just go to a club that you're an attractive player to. It's not necessarily that. Ricky, I knew Ricky from his days at Rangers. He coached a year older than me. I'd played at that age group with Motherwell. So I thought, right, I know his background. He's been at the club a good while. What he's done with the club, he's got promoted. He's won trophies. He's developed, obviously, French players to then play in a Scottish league. That impressed me. And even just speaking with him, he'd call you and it was relaxed. It wasn't like manager-player. He was having a chat as man-to-man. So instantly, I felt loved again, like, because somebody's telling you, listen, I want you to come in, I want you to sign, like, this is the plan we've got for you. He outlined the plan for me and then the team, whereas before, maybe previous managers going, oh, we want to do this, and I'm like, do you know what, that's fair. And you can see his track record now. There's a lot of players we've developed as a club, but it comes from him. He's the manager, so most of the players in the club probably majority of the players are his players. There's never really, as you know, there's no, like, we talk about it, obviously, bold signings like that thing doesn't happen there. Ricky, obviously, us as a staff identify players, and we go and get them, or if we need to bring them in and have a look at them, we do that. But no, the grab for me was obviously younger coach manager with a great sort of enthusiasm and full energy and just ready to push. And from day one, the first session, I was like, yeah, he can coach. And hats off to him as well, because obviously with a pro licence, he's coaching at a level where some would probably see it as he could push on. But I think we always talk about it like what we do there is good, and there isn't a lot of clubs in the league that probably do what we do, and you're not going to reveal that obviously, but just in terms of overall the jobs between coaches, obviously we've got Ricky, we've got Doreen who's the assistant, and Doreen does a lot of off the pitch stuff, which a lot of people
always
won't see.
someone on a computer, isn't he?
Doreen's very efficient on that. So I mean, the coaching within a session now, like the Tuesday, Thursdays, mainly falls on me. So now I've then got responsibility of developing players and developing methods as well. Obviously we've got Ross Patterson who's goalkeeping coach, but Ross gets input as well now. So we all do work under a sort of tight net. There's not a lot. We all have the one idea, which is good. We all know how we want to play, and we all know the sort of regulations around that. And it's not like we've got a lot of freedom as well. And Ricky's allowed that in the sense that, I mean, you obviously know me from probably the start of my coaching journey. I didn't do a lot, but now I'm at a stage where I am doing a lot, and it's became progressional. But he's allowed that. He's given me that chance. So am I thankful for that? Absolutely. And I don't think I'd have got that anywhere else, to be honest. I think the time I've been allowed, and even just the chance to do it, because results business, we know that, but to be allowed to phase into a stage where you're taking a lot of sessions. On a Saturday I do a bit of work on the side, nearly revealed what it was there, but I've got my notebook out, so that now is a trust. So I had that trust as a player, as you say, obviously getting in there and signing as a player, what was the grab, and then that's now turned into this stage of, God, I'm still there nearly 5 years later, and it's changed into something completely different, which I never would have expected all that time ago. So yeah.
Would you attribute that then to Ricky then? So obviously he was your coach, and then did his influence as a coach for you as a player make you then want to maybe start a career in coaching or get into it? Or did you just kind of stumble
until
in?
I get injured, I would say no, because I didn't consider anything other than playing for till I was I thought fitness wise it had lasted a long time. But yeah, if you're asking like did it influence me to then jump into it, yeah, because I didn't think at the time, because when I was injured I was then part-time. I didn't have Motherwell obviously done it private the first time. That was done within 6 weeks, whereas second time you're turning up to the hospital asking to get a scan. You get a scan 2 months later, the knee's actually fine by that point, but it's obviously you've still got the internal problem. Then you're getting told 18 months for surgery for weight. You're going, God, I'm then 2 years out of the game. So it got to a point where, yeah, I'd started coaching with a boys club at the time. They were 2006 born, so they're not actually that much younger than me, but I got the chance to get in just help, just pick up the cones, set up the wee boxes. In between being injured, it then did spark that maybe interest in, well, maybe I can do this as well. So yeah, that was kind of the influence from then, yeah. But obviously from the start I was like, no, I want to get back playing. But when that became hindered, I was like, we'll maybe move on to different idea here.
And obviously, so that stage of your career, how long were you playing with the Braves for then again?
Actually, so I signed, basically the season started in the July, and I was injured by the September. So it was pretty quick.
So then you got the rest of the season, but still keeping involved.
I was just involved with the boys. I
wasn't
really doing much. I was doing the commentary with, I don't know if you remember Gregor and Angelo. I was doing the commentary with them a lot of the time, doing some media, like just helping out. I just wanted to stay involved because obviously as a football person, it gets to a point where you need that structure of the football. Like, see, during the summer, you go, what day is it? Because you forget that you've not got the game on the Saturday or a midweek game. But I just wanted to stay involved. It became a wee bit like, I didn't feel left out the group at all, but you know you're not a key component in it. So I did have to find a way to still be involved. And that might have been selfish of me, but I personally do enjoy being involved on a match day at training. So that was the reasoning for that.
No, I mean, it makes a difference. Like the kind of thing that, to me when I went to the Braves as well, is that you go in there and there's so many people that are happy to talk, and like you're around obviously that time as well when I joined, so you appreciate all that stuff. And obviously during your career then as well, if you're happy to jump into a quick challenge, once you're here,
absolutely.
I know you've been following them from early days, from Joga Bonito started, so you're going to be in them now, all right? We did this with Rika Katonga, and we're going to do it with you as well. We want you to put together your all-star sort of five-a-side team, so this can be a bit more personal if you want.
Right,
It doesn't just
so
need to be
am I
five
doing
names,
this
but
rapid, or am I going to give you...
Give us a name, give us a bit of an explanation.
Oh,
if you wanna do
right,
that.
okay.
Right.
So what's the criteria? Do I have to have played a lot of games with them, or can I just have...
This is where it can be a bit more personal. So you don't need to just say, if you've just played one game with a big name player, you don't need to chuck them in. Okay. So it can be a bit more personal, but also it might have that sort of mix of, quality, big names, but also guys you enjoy playing with. So
You can bend the rules a wee bit.
Can bend the rules just to suit.
yeah, I don't know what the rules are. The rules are whatever you want them to be. So Cole Stars, could you put together your all-time five-a-side team from players you've played with?
Are we having a goalie? Are we having that? Or are we going backsy?
Yeah,
I think go goalie. Yeah.
Right, okay.
if there's one good enough. If you think there's a field player that could...
Trevor Carson, that good enough?
That's a good name.
Aye.
Yeah.
When you originally asked me, I was like, because a goalie's a hard one. Because I feel like as a fives goalie, you need to have good feet as well, because you can't just be the good old lumpet, because it's not long enough to do that. So yeah, he obviously throughout my time there at Motherwell, he was injured a few times as well. Obviously the kind of injury layoff for a long time, but reserve games he came back and played a good few, and that's when I actually played with him. But the career he's had, the regard he's held in, like a lot of people, he's under the radar a goalie, because like sometimes it can be hero to zero into it. It's like, but he was such a consistent player, and a really good guy as well. Probably not the most personal relationship I've got with a player, but just if you asked me like to instantly pick a goalie, it was always him. I thought like, yeah, he was a really good kind of influence as well. So
If you want to go for a few risky picks in front as well, you know, if you've gone for guys that you've got more of a personal relationship, you've got the solid goalkeeper sorted, all right?
aye, the solid
That guy's not
goalkeeper's
gonna
there.
beat, so-
That's safe hands in there.
No, you're free to do what you want from
I think
here.
he'll go.
so-
I think he'll go a one defender,
One defender.
2 midfielders, and an attacker. Obviously, a more recent introduction to Scottish men's football, Liam Morrison. Obviously, went on loan to Aberdeen, played a lot of Scotland games with him, and he was a year younger than me, but he played in my age group of squad. So that like right away, I was going, oh, this guy's like must be good. Obviously, the move to Bayern really sort of highlighted that, but a really good calm defender, like quietly went about his business, but would show that side of him that he was like a big lad as well if he had to. So no, like all rounder.
Technical side of the game.
Exactly,
Like,
like-
Bayern Munich's coming cool, and you've got a bit of
exactly. I don't
some
think you're going to
showing off
Bayern if you're a bad player, but no, listen, he's quite a special one. That it was quite unique. I'd only played a good few games with him, but instantly saw right away that he knew how to defend. He knew how to get one-on-one defending. He was good at as a centre back because he's a big lad. Like he's tall. Obviously, it can be harder to get down, but nah, like one that I've always kind of watched out for as well. He's a good few moves as well. So like that was totally another name that was kind of straight in there.
That's a good pick, that, yeah.
That's fun. Yeah,
That you're a fan of.
yeah. I've been championing him to get a call up to the Scotland squad, and there's been, I think Peter Leven's come out and sort of laid down the gauntlet. For
Absolutely
him
no
and Leo.
reason why these lads can't push. I like to see that as well. Even like I played with, he's not in it, but I played with Conor Barron as well at that level, and I'm not saying I'm shocked what he's done with his career, but he's done really well for himself, and I'm like good on him because that move could sometimes sink you, but he seems to have held his place in the Rangers team for the last couple of years. So that's fair enough because a lot of, I mean, obviously yourself you see on social media and you've got the free will of just slaughtering people, and I don't like it because you think of like if I just come up to you and said you're not good enough to do that, it's not really a fair comment. A lot of people comment on things they're not even near qualified to comment on. Like a football player's a hard thing to hold, especially at an elite club and in a top league. So no, listen, fair play to the guys that can do that.
And so, right, Cole, you're teasing us here. You said Conor Barron's not in there. Who is in this midfield?
Well, I might name them separately here. I've got 2 midfielders.
We'll go for one at a time. We'll go one
Right,
at a time.
okay. Jensen Weir. So that is Davy Weir's son. Obviously, we're talking about maybe how people have done in their career, but this is one that personally, when I played with him, he was like top notch. Big, powerful midfielder, workhorse, good on the ball. He went from Wigan to Brighton, back to Wigan. Good couple moves. He's one of the names that, obviously, like boys I've played with, I always look out. Every Saturday at night time, I'll go on my phone, I'll scroll through and check all the leagues of boys that I know that are playing in. There's a good few that have missed out, to be fair, as well. Like, probably been harsh, Reece McAleer. Obviously, he's at St Johnstone. Great ball player. Played with him for about 4 years, obviously at Motherwell. Dean Cornelius as well is doing well. He's been obviously down south, back up now at Ross County. So, like, these lads just missing out. But if you're asking me individually, at one point, what I've seen is like Jensen would be in there. So, yeah. Second midfielder, David Turnbull. Like, that's undoubted. He's just, yeah, the point when I was playing with him as well, I probably played more so with him early before he made his stint in the Motherwell first team, but when he kicked on, obviously still been around, I mean, he was scoring goals in the SPL and he was still in the reserve changing room. Like, that's how I still go. But even going on watching him at Celtic, we talking work a lot, like boys I work with, and there's a lot of Celtic fans in my work, and they bang on about midfielders, and I go, people didn't give David Turnbull enough credit or enough chance to actually show how good he is. I still believe he'd still fit in that team perfectly, and
I mean, he scored a lot of goals.
yeah,
when he was at Celtic.
That's the thing. Like,
few minutes.
you look at his ability to go and play the ball in the final third, to go and step on and hit a shot. You knew if he was having a shot outside the box, he would probably hit the target. That's how he kind of got his move to Celtic through being basically the back page of the paper going, David Turnbull scored 2 for Motherwell. Like, that was it was really good. At like the point of time, Motherwell had a good kind of 3-4 players: James Scott, Jake Hasty, in and around the first team at that point. So obviously Alan Campbell had come through a couple of years before, but David, I think, suffered from a point of time where Celtic probably didn't have the right runner. Obviously, he was kind of still there when Ange was there, so like that must have been good. But I think people underrate him, to be honest.
What was his technique like? Because
He could hit the ball as hard as anybody's ever hit it. Like, it was ridiculous.
2-footed as well. Cause
2-footed, very like. I actually used to have a laugh about it. He wore boots, like really small boots. He's like, just like to feel the ball like proper against it. But you look at David, big guy, like size 7.5 boots, like
really,
crazy.
Oh
like
my.
we're
Actually,
really.
he's about 6'1" or something.
He's a big lad. So no, but it's weird because obviously you forget sometimes all the things you done. We were obviously talking about Tony Watt pre-recording as well. He was obviously just arrived at Motherwell in my second season. I remember his first day taking him down to the L Park where we trained because he'd missed the bus. But I drove down, like us under 20s, we drove down sometimes, put the kit in our car and drove down. But like even like that, you forget the players you've played with sometimes, how good the whole package is. Like, you need to be so good every day to actually do the business on the Saturday, whereas a lot of the fans just go, it's only the Saturday, they don't think about the full working week you've had. So yeah, like even to keep your place in a team, in a squad where you've got that many good players, it must be super tough. Like, it's got to be. I mean, I didn't get involved in the first team to be on the bench at that stage or anything like that, but even to get involved in first team training was really hard.
No, the levels for that. So leading the line, you putting yourself in the team.
I've really like beat myself up at this, and I still don't, because obviously being a striker, I don't like to pick people on their overall career that I've not had involvement in. Like, yeah, there's a couple that I've maybe played 5 games with, but that was at a youth stage where their potential now they've kicked on. Chris Long is probably the name I'm going to pick. I don't know if you know. You probably remember him from the Motherwell days.
Yeah.
It was a weird one. He came in. He'd been at Everton as a young boy. He had a kind of good few moves in England throughout the leagues. I think he's still doing that, but he played I played a couple of reserve games with Ross McCormack. That was another one I thought of. That like, career-wise, that could be one, but probably not in terms of my time there because he didn't play as much. But Chris Long played with us 5-6 times and scored every single game. He was the fastest player I've ever played with first hand, like over 5 yards, rapid, and he was good to me as well. Like, he constantly spoke to me, kept me going when it was tough. Like, they would play ahead. You'd be playing a reserve game on the Monday. You'd be thinking, oh, brilliant. And then the Sunday morning, 3 first teamers would walk into your training. They were now playing. You're going, God, I've went for starting to dropping out now. But he was a good one for me, and sort of similar playing style to me as well at the time. So I tried to model my game around how he would train and stuff. There's a lot of names that I've missed out here. I'm kind of, but that is my.
You want some honourable mentions in there as well, or you?
I don't want to write my list off, but obviously we were talking about as well, like Karamoko earlier. I only played 2 games with him, so I don't. And those games as well, it wasn't like eye-opening for me and groundbreaking, but obviously it was the hype kid around Scotland for a good few years, so no, another one that could have probably made it.
I mean, that's a really strong team.
Strong team, and I try and go for a like sturdy based team that you probably wouldn't be able to get physical around. Like, they're all big, strong, powerful players, and that might be the Scottish side of it. Not necessarily, they can all play football. Like, there's no doubt about that. So, my big pal Samo, like, he was nearly there. Like Connor Salmon, he was nearly there. Nah, he was great. I loved playing with him as well. But nah, that was probably my confirmed 5-a-side team.
I like that team a lot, yeah.
Not bad at
You on the
all.
side? You coaching?
Oh well, if I could still play, I'd be straight away. But
Sixth man.
nah, I could be on the sideline with the tactics board.
Love that. So yeah, coaching then these days.
Yep.
Was that something you expected to get into? Obviously, Fraser sort of asked you a bit about that beforehand, but what have you taken from coaching, and like what surprised you about it that you enjoy?
Weirdly, like I never. It's now only I'm at a stage where I consider phases of life, but when I was younger, I never considered it like being a thing for me I wanted to stay in football for as long as I could. This side of it always intrigued me. Like personally, to be honest, I thought this because I enjoy having conversations about things I'm passionate about. Absolutely. So I did always think media, maybe television type thing as well. But the coaching fell upon me, but it also provided me with a good opportunity to. Because there's nothing beats the feeling of winning a game. Like that brings the kind of hunger and desire out. But what I enjoy about it most is probably, I mean, actually now, we were talking about it earlier as well, player development now. So like, I'm involved with the 20s and the first team. So first team coach, and I would say the past couple of seasons, I mean, a few seasons ago, myself and Ross Patterson took it as two managers of the 20s, but now I'm sort of more involved in the bridge between the 20s and first team. So reporting back to Ricky, who's doing well. Obviously Alex is the 20s manager just now. So no, listen, that side of it, I'm really enjoying that side of can we get players through. We've had a lot of players in the last couple of years that have done well, came up, and then they've maybe moved on to like West of Scotland teams as well, because just to get themselves more game time. So seeing boys kick on and do well, that for me at the minute's really making me enjoy it. But the Saturdays is the pinnacle for most people, but my working week I enjoy the full week, like going in on a Tuesday night, doing a kind of more bigger, less tactical session, and then the Thursday night focusing right on how we approach the Saturday game. So overall I'm enjoying it. Do I see myself doing it for a long time? Yeah, now I do. Whereas previously I was still testing the waters, whereas now obviously recently completed my B licence as well with the Scottish FA, always looking for other opportunities within. So I work full time as well, so I'm always looking for other opportunities to try and maybe push that into a full time role in football. Obviously, as you two guys are looking to do as well. So it's one of those ones that I think it's got potential for the long haul. Because I always thought after I had the second injury, I thought, is my playing career going to last as long if and when I do come back? And I knew it wasn't going to last me for. I mean, I was probably at that point going to have 10, 15 years maximum. Whereas now this could go until older age, so that was kind of the thought.
What's it like as a coach? You obviously, like, you're still young, you still got loads of energy, you're fit,
yeah.
You can still play football. Like, what's it like for you being at the side of the pitch on a Saturday? Like, are you wanting to just run on the pitch and do like John Guthrie's job or do Ross McNeil's job, and like you want to stick the ball in the back of the net? How is it or you now you're enjoying your role, and it's like football was that's a thing of the past now almost?
I would still say I do really miss it in terms of if I see somebody getting a chance in front of goal, you go, you're doing it with them. Yeah. I don't have the capacity to play with the knee, but I still do keep myself fit, as you say, like out with that running, etc. But no, I know I'm at a stage now where I've accepted how it is, and I'm now just focused on the off. Yeah. It's not off pitch work, but the more kind of coaching side of it. But I do still miss it, and I'm young, so the difficult thing for me to start with was wondering if the player's going to respect me or not. Because I mean, you know yourself, like, younger person trying to coach. At that point, the majority of the team were age or older with me.
How old were you when you sort of took your first sessions then?
I would have been 21.
And you go from sort of teammates like Ross McNeil, for example.
Actually, never played with Ross.
Career, and you've been playing up front of him.
Aye.
And you're telling them what to do.
Like obviously the first. I think that having the basis of the team for the previous season staying then, and the kind of good guys. There was never really even like a sort of discussion, or I just sort of like one summer rocked up with the black tracksuit rather than the navy one. And Ricky's
still got the white boots though, yeah.
White boots, always. But no, it just went from literally helping out with Ricky to just then getting more and more of the session to take, and to the point where he take half the session now. He takes the tactical side, I take the kind of more generic side. But being involved in the outlining of the session and what we're planning to do for the week, yeah, it happened quite seamlessly, to be honest, and he backed that. He kind of just kept giving me more and more, to the point where I was going 45 minutes, and he's like, yeah, go and do it. So, no, as you say, like, having guys that you've played with around you, it did help to start with, but now it's just there. It's not really, there's no divide. I can still go and have a chat with them and ask them how their weekend was, etc. But there's got to be, you know yourself, there's got to be a level of coach to player.
That sounds good. Ricky's like, oh, you go and take the session. He's sitting he's sitting with the laptop on Netflix on the feet up, going, I'm working on tactics in here. But
No. He's always if he's in the office, he's working on something, and if he's out in the pitch, he'll be critiquing or scrutinising. You've got to, because like I now feel not comfortable, but I feel happy with the fact that he trusts me without having to step in. I mean, there's never a stage of don't do that. It's always we've got a basis of what we work towards on a session, but if I show him my idea, yep, go. It's not any, change that or do this. It's we know each other's ideas, so it's planned round one objective, of course, for that night, but we're fine with that. It's cool. Like we do get on fine with that, and all the coaches, even like with Dorian sometimes takes some tactical side of stuff as well. It's then his part, but we support it. It's not just a case of, well, he does that, and it's like separate. It's all like.
That's what I'm interested to know is, like, obviously you're doing a bit of the coaching side and Ricky and Dorian are doing tactical side. Is there an opportunity for you guys to have a meeting where you get to sort of air your opinion? So if you think, right, we're coming up against Gala, Ferrydean Rovers in the last game, we didn't do this, but I feel like we could exploit this. Do you have the chance to say to Ricky, look, I think I don't agree with this. I think this is how you should approach it. Or are you just, for now, just coaching and learning from how he sort of sets up a team in that way? No,
it's not solely isolated to him. We do, before every session, obviously, the office in there, we're all in there for the first, we get down about 6:30, so we're there till 10 to 8 before we head out, so it's quite a while planning the session. Every week's kind of structured towards the game on the Saturday. It's not just like a working week where you go and boxes, possession and games. It's not like that. It's pretty angled towards how we're going to approach the weekend. In terms of what you're saying, do we have the chance to opinion? Yeah, we all have our own opinions, but it tends to meet. In terms of you're saying about previous games, that's something I track. So obviously opposition analysis side part. So we know, looking back on it, I mean, I've got the book in the house. I have to fill out yesterday's game into it. I do it on my own at the side, but then we filter over to a kind of hard copy. So we look back at that and we do think, well, what could we have done better last time? Yeah, so we do all share input, and we also do look at maybe, say for instance, the previous week, the team we're playing this week coming, we'll look at how their result went the following week, if we can get obviously intel on that. But yeah, we do all have input.
And looking at this season for the Braves as well, then to tie things back into sort of where we are at the minute. So this Lowland League season coming in, there was certainly it's a bit of an odd season, I feel like, because next year Lowland League's going to look very different. And this was also the first year the Lowland League's not had East Kilbride in it as well. So I'm sure a lot of teams were looking at it thinking maybe there's an opportunity to do a bit of something here. Cali Braves, you'd say, would be in that debate after the season that we obviously had the year before. Was great to be involved with. And how would you summarise how the season's gone so far then?
So far it's been, I wouldn't say up and down, but it's been a wee bit like some results have went our way quite favourably, and then other results we're probably expecting to have got, we've not had. That I just put that down to that's football. We've signed a good few players, added quality to the team as we were speaking about earlier, kept the core of our team. So I mean, I think the season's went good. Could have been better, yeah, of course it could have, but there's always a chance that it could have went worse. So no, we're doing okay at the minute. We need to just keep pushing for that final little bit. It's not over till it's over, obviously, as they say, but I think with East Kilbride being out of it and showing that they could push on to win it last season and get up, everybody fancied their chances that was pushing last season. And then also there's no relegation this year, so we found a lot of teams that are down the bottom are just coming out with a sort of who cares attitude. They just come out and play free, so they're not coming out and fearing getting beat 5-0. They're just coming out and going, well, like, you might score 5, we'll try and score 5 to match it.
Not looking over their shoulder the whole time, are they?
Exactly. Yeah. They're not going, oh god, we might get relegated. It's just go out and play free. And the structure in the league next year, I think folk have already started looking at that already as well. Like, personally, I do.
West of Scotland's looking like it's going to this Lowland League West. Sorry, that's going to be a stacked league.
Yeah,
some of the quality in
I
there,
think with that as well, like, it comes to a point where everybody will be there'll be no movement, there'll be no market of, well, that's the kind of team to go to, because as we were talking earlier, a player might have a preference to the manager he goes to, who will then attract more players because he's there. It's going to be so tight. So I think if you're staying in the Lowland League West and obviously East next year, it is a difficult one to probably break out of, because you're going to have players from all over wanting to join XYZ just because they're going to push for it.
But yeah, I think it's safe to say we'd agree with that. You know, the safety sort of buffer there is at the bottom of League Two is not something that I think it should be opened up. I think we'd happily say that as well, because there's a lot of teams wanting to do big things, isn't there? Obviously, Clyde Bank coming into the league this year. Everyone sort of expected them to have a good year. Bonnie Reg bouncing back. We've seen the junior clubs come into the Lowland League and big supports, and you've got someone like the Cali Braves as well that, you know, I'm all for it as well. Something a bit different. So I'm trying to sort of break the tradition a little bit.
Exactly. Like, I do enjoy going to these grounds. Like, the experiences I've had all across my few seasons there, I've been here, there and everywhere, to be honest, but it's good to see the different sides of it. Like, obviously, you know, the club inside out, the Braves, but last weekend we're at Linlithgow and they've got 300-400 fans at a local stadium all shouting abuse at you. It's great to experience all of it, because I think if you are just involved in that traditional club, it's all you really see. And if you're involved in the SPFL, you just see large crowds all the time. There's no much difference. Whereas you get an Astro pitch one week, you get a terrible Astro pitch another week, you get a good grass pitch. It's really like diverse.
A good Astro pitch for the Cali Braves these days.
Yeah,
for the record. Yeah,
yeah, it's been redone.
It's
some of it. It's good. It's a nice carpet. But I mean, that was the thing about us. Obviously, you remember probably last season when we beat East Kilbride at home. Their manager came out in the record and saying that the pitch was a leveller for us last season. Obviously, remember, it wasn't that great, to be honest, and I think teams now will prefer our pitch and they'll maybe look at it as more of a chance to play, whereas the previous seasons they were probably coming and approaching our pitch with a different mindset, going, God, we never need to do this, but now they can just come out and play free as well. Listen, we've played better football on it now, so that's fine, but you do go to some of these grounds and it's hard to keep the ball on the floor.
Different challenge though, isn't it, every week? And yeah, but definitely seen the quality from the Braves boys certain games where it's really just clicked. We spoke about that before as well. We were saying, like, last year, those two games against East Kilbride, you can say what you want about a pitch, but that certainly from what I saw, the Braves sort of ripped them apart in that game. Was it 5-1 in the end? And then this year, results Clyde Bank as well. You look at that and shows some potential of that group.
Yeah, absolutely. The group has got so much potential. I think sometimes they don't realise it. Like, hopefully, if they can hear it, they do. But we speak about it a lot, and do they realise they're actually that good a team? Sometimes I don't think so, because maybe sometimes you hear the noise from certain fan groups, etc., that go, oh, well, you're this, you're that. Football's football. Put 11 men on a park against another 11 men. Who wins the game? That's just what it is. And if the boys just need to just go, well, come out with that, should we are the better team, and you'll probably do better. But listen, they've done extremely well in the time that I've been there. Probably punched above our weight for a long time, to now be at a stage where, yeah, it's a good group of players and probably one of the most consistent groups of players now.
With some serious quality as well. I mean, don't get us started on some of the.
I know, yeah. What players do you start talking about there? Yeah, but I mean,
Cammy Bredner, man.
You'll be massaging egos here. You better be careful.
But seriously, like, we talked about it at length, and we were talking about it earlier. For people that are watching and listening that maybe aren't aware so much of the quality in the Lowland League, there is serious quality in that league. There's some good young talent, and as you say as well, Callum, like, there's older players that are maybe stepping down, winding down their careers. There's some really, really good talent in that league, and especially at Caledonian Braves.
We won't be. Ricky might not appreciate us putting his players. In
We'll not be touting any names.
I mean, you've seen the Reece Armstrong, obviously, Airdrie these days as well.
Yeah,
been through the
Braves.
Braves.
Actually, I've played with at Motherwell years ago, so I've actually missed him out my team as well. You reminded me there. He's
just make it an 11-a-side team.
Might as well.
No, be here all day.
Well, if you guys want one more challenge whilst we're here, because Cole, you're a man that knows the Lowland League well. Fraser, you know the Lowland League decently.
Are you going to give me a chance against him that he's going to know the fact file to? Right,
you two are going to work together on this one.
We work together.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, good.
You can sit close to him as well. Right, so I'm going to give you a challenge, okay? So, since the start of the Lowland League, 2013? Is it 14.
You're asking the wrong guy.
I'm asking the wrong guy. That's the quiz. Sorry, you failed. No.
Say both. And then say the correct
I think it's
one.
2013. Since the start of the Lowland League, can you guys work out the 10 teams that have picked up the most points accumulatively? Since the start.
Bonnyrigg.
Bonnyrigg, no, because they've not been in it enough.
Really?
Yeah. Because they got promoted
Right.
decent
Go,
time.
go and say the obvious one.
The obvious one. God. Are there any Braves?
The Braves are ninth on the list. 371 points they picked up.
Spartans.
Spartans,
Good shout, to be fair.
yes, second at 541 points.
Linlithgow.
Linlithgow's not been up long
they're
enough, only a
fresh,
couple
they're
seasons.
freshies.
Yeah.
Edinburgh City.
Edinburgh City weren't around long enough either. You've still got quite a lot of teams from the original Lowland League.
Tranent.
Tranent, no.
East Kilbride. East Kilbride.
East Kilbride, of course.
Oh,
that was
yes,
that's
sorry,
that was
big
the
one.
obvious one. I was
yeah.
getting at.
704
They
points
first?
they picked up. They just didn't want to leave for some time. Yeah.
that's it.
And then after that, you've got quite a lot of teams that have been around for a wee while, which gets them in.
Who can we go? Are you struggling? Are you?
No, I'm just waiting for you.
No, that's I'm trying to think who.
You've got all the eyes on you here, Fraser.
Cumbernauld.
Cumbernauld Colts, yeah, they are on 439 points.
Wait, so sorry. How many points has Spartans got?
541 their second.
And how many has the Braves got?
371.
Right, okay, so that's
The
kind
ninth.
Ninth.
Greta.
Gretna just 333. They've been in the league for longer, obviously.
How
but
many do we still need to get?
Still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get. Getting there. Yeah, Gretna had quite a few seasons looking through, like the 10-point seasons, but they've obviously
How long?
bounced back a bit.
Albion Rovers been down. Not long enough.
Not
for
long
that.
at all.
Civil.
Civil Service Strollers. Yeah, they're in there. 397.
University of Stirling.
University of Stirling, of course. Yeah. They had some really good seasons in there. Looking back at some of the league tables back there, 473.
Well organised then.
Yeah.
So
we
many
get
more.
So you've got number 3 and number 4 to get, and then you've got one more after that as well. Number 6.
Gallifreydine Rovers.
Gallifreydine Rovers are in there. 424.
420.
424 points. So you've got third and the 4th to get.
This is tricky now.
Bowness United.
Bonus, not being around long enough.
Um,
Some of your honourable mentions here. Dalbeatty Star had a lot of seasons in the league. They'll leave them. They don't make it.
They'll beat Star. That was a horrible away day. That.
who else?
Edinburgh Uni were close as well.
Was
One
it?
of Dorian's old teams.
Dorian's old teams, yeah.
You struggling?
I'm struggling.
Big
have,
time.
Have you got a couple more?
Um,
Really struggling now. How likely am I to get these?
You're quite likely. There's a hint I can give that would really make one of them obvious.
Okay, don't do that.
are they
Okay.
no longer in the league?
One of them's still in the league. One of them's not.
Are they up or are they non-existent?
Yeah, if you do. Annan. No.
No. Annan's never got a single point in the Lowland League.
Oh no!
Where would they? How?
Braves played at Annan.
Oh no, but when they obviously got.
Annan Athletic.
Yeah.
No, they've always been in this before.
No, but they're only recent addition to the SPFL. No.
Oh, you're having a nook here.
No, I really am.
Showing up.
No, but I
showing
thought
up,
they were
showing up the knowledge here.
Annan.
Yeah.
They've not been in the SPFL for.
I'm very confused. Yeah, they have.
What for?
They've
All,
not been promoted, yeah.
I'll need to check. I thought they were like I knew
A Broomhill, one of these.
Oh,
Broomhill, BSC Glasgow, obviously
Yeah.
picking up a lot
Open
of
goal
those.
Broomhill, all the rest of it.
That's it. Yeah, too many names to keep up. One more.
So one more that's still in the league
I
then.
do apologise if you've said it and I've not just ticked it off. I don't believe I have. They were a former SPFL club. You might have said it. I don't
Berwick
know.
Rangers.
No.
Cowden Beath. Albion Rovers. East Stirlingshire.
East Stirlingshire.
Oof.
'Cause they've been down a while now. So
that was poor from me.
498. They're third. Third on the
That's
list.
a lot of points.
Because they had some good seasons when they initially came down, and then obviously bounced around a bit
They were
lower.
good the season, the Reece Armstrong season. They were good. Are you getting the in fact fell up here?
I
Mate, they were
don't
in
know if
SP,
I'm
they've
going
been in
crazy.
League Two for about 100 years.
I don't think they have. Maybe I need to stop doubling down on this because
I think you've made a mess of this one.
Embarrassing. You are on a podcast about Scottish football right now.
I know. I've
Are you going
made.
to chat GPT history of Annan?
I'm just. Annan Athletic won the South of Scotland League twice and the East of Scotland League 4 times before successfully applying to join the Scottish Football League in 2008.
Oh,
There you go.
Why?
But that's still.
There you go.
Love that.
There you go.
I would
See,
say recent
wasn't
enough
going
that it's 17, 18 years ago. I'm not sure.
It's still not a single game in the Lowland League either, but
That's also true. But
That's good for you.
I was
fair enough.
I wasn't gonna sleep tonight until that.
They've been an SPFL club as long as I can remember.
Yeah,
So that's
yeah,
all that counts, isn't it, Cal?
I can't remember who. I think they took Gretna's place.
Right.
I think that was
Right,
it.
right, that would make
So
sense.
that's
Nah.
2008, you would be.
Yeah, I think that's what it
It's
was.
all adding up now, isn't it?
I
So-
have done well there, Fraser.
Well, I was completely wrong. I couldn't have been more wrong. There you go. I'll sleep tonight. But that was impressive from you.
So what did they get total, do you know?
Who? Fraser.
Don't-
You done alright. You done.
Can we can redo it? And then that was poor.
I'd like to know how you got your quiz though. That was quite impressive.
Thank you very much. There was,
So
a lot,
this is the stuff that
That's
I don't know how he's done
serious
that.
brain box.
there was a lot of numbers. Sort of
Aye.
being
Have you
put
just
together.
had to sit and go through every single season back to 2013?
Just added them together.
Totting them
yeah.
up?
Just added them.
Seriously?
That's brilliant.
Yeah, yeah.
That must have taken
Like you
ages.
see behind the curtain here, yeah. It didn't take too long. Yeah.
The issue we have, or mainly me, is that when I come up with these quizzes, you spend all your time, you research, you put it together, you're like, right, I've got you a quiz, Callum, do the quiz. And then you put it online and some guy, and people comment, oh, have you forgotten him or what? You're like, oh no.
I know, that is
And
it.
it takes away all credibility. Of
I probably have missed.
You'll be getting
No,
corrected
it's-
here because of the name changes or something. There'll be something going on here.
Yeah, there's been a fair few of them as well. So yeah, edge of sport to Braves. You know, might not even count. You know.
Broomhill with 4 names.
Yeah. So
Yep.
there you go. Know your Lowland League
The,
inside out.
I need to brush
I did
up
have
a
about
bit.
7 guesses of the league club in a row though. So
True. Yeah. At least you need them all. So
I was hoping
Yeah.
it was Albion Rovers, my hometown club, but
When did they go down? 6, 7 years ago now?
no, 3.
It was recent,
Yeah,
is it?
wasn't
so
too long,
about
yeah.
3. They've not been in that long
yeah.
because they were still in League 2 when I was at the Braves playing.
Right, okay. Aye.
So
Aye. Was it? Did they play Spartans in playoff? Was it that year?
possibly.
Could have been. Yeah.
I'm not quoting that because I'm not getting made to look like an idiot online.
What's your
my job.
what is your favourite ground in the Lowland League?
Ground as in ground or pitch? Because that's
Just
a
everything.
I think ground. Like
Go aye.
not the pitch.
Your favourite away day?
favourite away ground. I need to go through them all here.
That's what that game was for, just to tee you up for this question. But
I quite enjoy Gala.
aye.
What a stand that is, eh?
The stand is probably one of the deciding factors. Also, just like the peaceful aspect of it.
Is that the big brutalist one?
Brutalist architecture
It's
there.
quite
Yeah.
Aye.
That's a good
That,
one.
and that's where Christian Get cannot score a
I scored a good goal down
Absolute
there.
wee
didn't
dink.
I? Yeah.
so
30
What a
yards
player.
out, yeah.
What a player.
Baller.
phenomenal. Aye.
Yeah. So rest of the season then, what we got coming from you, Cole Stars?
From me, just consistency.
Consistency.
Stay on the pitch, keep the boys going, and see what the rest of the season brings. It's not over yet. We've still got a bit to go, and obviously then you look forward to building for the following season, whatever that entails.
And you're keeping up with the running and everything like that. Got
I
some
am. We've got something in the pipeline.
someone in the pipeline.
Yeah, something in the
Are
pipeline.
you going to be able to share that at some point, or
I'll
when's
do
that
it.
gonna-
I mean, when's this going out?
probably this week, coming week?
Well, yeah, I'm trying to tie it in for the beginning of March, but starting a kind of running club community type thing on socials. So well, obviously Adam, our good friend over at Hunter Visuals, is probably going to try and do me a wee promo, but it will include kind of merch and just obviously staying active is hard considering you're not in football and you don't know what kind of direction to go down. But I've started doing some competitive running at the weekends. Try to enter as many races this year as I can. So yeah, I'm just trying to give something for myself to work on, because I've obviously since seeing you guys doing this as well, it's kind of got me thinking, what could I do, and it's inspired me a wee bit to go down my own route, and that'll entail hopefully some social media content, tie a community together that's going to be local, if not kind of a bit wider, but it'll give the opportunity to be involved in such things as buying the merchandise as well. So I can give you a name as well if you want. It'll be Stars Speed. So
That's speed. Love that, yeah.
with the surname in it. So
We'll be repping it, yeah.
so we'll get a wee bit going, but I was keeping it under wraps, but I thought maybe could be a good opportunity to branch out a wee bit and give it a bit of an audience. But listen, it's something I've been wanting to do for a long time. I've had no, like, you see obviously football coaches doing the one-to-one coaching and stuff. I feel like the content I get from my coaching is quite a lot, so I thought, well, how else do I really enjoy myself? And it's something that I feel it's the closest I can get to getting that winning feeling, and the sort of happiness of playing football is maybe something that I can push myself at. So still being able to run is a great thing. And I think for people at all levels, like my dad's involved as well now. He's doing the runs. Some of my mates I've been asking about it. So yeah, doing that the next few weeks, months.
No, I love that, and I think it's worth saying as well that obviously we did a podcast previously at the Cali Braves where we did speak a bit about your injury and the decision to stop playing in a bit more detail, but it's great you can still do that. So you didn't get that second surgery, of course. We've not really spoken about that.
So obviously I never got.
Running's something you've been able to pick up just as well.
Yeah, because it's not change of direction. Just running a straight line is fine for a person without an ACL, but obviously it's vital you keep up the muscle run about that. So the gym's obviously a big factor as well. But no, listen, it's a passion of mine I've had for a long time. I always liked running, but I never really thought of it as like trying to compete and go and do competitive things. Just always done it for leisure, but now it's quite an exciting thing. I've done a few events with up and running events. They're obviously a Glasgow-based company that do races every other weekend, and I've done a lot of their ones now, and it got me a bit of a taste for it, and I've been trying to learn off different things. So having that, and obviously it helps being confident in front of the camera and for socials as well, but I think having something I can attach myself to personally rather than someone else's work is pretty exciting.
That is. What races are you signed up to? Have you got any? Oh,
hold on. Right, so
he's got a list. Oh my!
We've got the running calendar for the remainder of the year. So January I've done 3. Done Holyrood, Alexandra, and Victoria Park. February I was going to do one the day actually, but it didn't kind of tie in. It was Carlisle, so we had to diss that one. But
what distances are?
I go between 5 and 10s just now, just because try to build that. I mean, I've not been running consistently till January, so I've brought my PB down by about 3 minutes as well in the 5k, the 10k. At the minute I'm currently about 20 and a half minutes, but I'm trying to get a sub 20 by summer. So, but I mean that's not far off my peak level, so we're hoping to do that. So I've still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 booked so far. We're trying to I'm doing the Great Scottish 10k. That's kind of one I'm looking forward to, but I'm not too sort of shy when it comes to just booking them. I just want to go and do and experience it, and you know yourself, getting that medal at the finish line was pretty good as well. So
that runner's high.
Exactly, and apparently I've been scouted by a couple of social media gurus for playing in some competition. So I'll be my fitness up for that.
You use lightly there.
No, so
So get training.
So I need to get training. I've been scouted into Joga Bonito. Is it 5s team or 7s team?
It's going to be 6s this
Sixes,
one.
soccer
Yeah,
sixes.
it's been an out on.
Right, okay. So I better get the boots looked out.
Yeah. I would say we'd probably need you centre midfield. Well, I mean,
That's fine. I'll just get in there and just.
because what do you reckon? Maybe the coaches need to go and just discuss.
Yeah,
things.
talk tactics. Yeah, see what the rest of the team's shaping up like. But
Maybe you
this is
can-
promising.
Am I going to be the anchor?
Yes,
Somebody at the side might call me another word.
anchor with a double.
He's actually our anchor. That's what you're saying.
Just like fitness wise, I just think I've got to keep on going with that. It's not something I can pull off of. So
No, running's fit. I do a lot of it. I love it. I think, although weirdly, I don't know what your opinion is, but we're running. I don't tend to enjoy it so much at the time, but it's after.
It's a
I
mental
do.
battle.
There's times where I go out and it's nice weather, and sometimes you're just feeling it and you really enjoy it. A lot of times I go out for a run and I'm just counting down the seconds till I'm home. But it's the feeling after.
I understand that. And until recently, I was like that.
Yeah.
I would neglect going out to run. Whereas during the week, there, one of my mates, he's kind of trying to get involved with it. He wants to be part of it as well, and he's never really ran. He's played football and stuff, but he's now getting into it. And we just went a 10k, and I just loved it. I just loved being out. It's peaceful. You've the life of the work and the phone and all that is left in the house. You go out and have your. It took us, I think, 50 odd minutes, but just having the peace to go out and just run is great. And I've got to the stage now where I actually enjoy it. And that might sound psycho, but I enjoy the sort of pushing yourself because it's the only real push I get. So, listen, it's a hard task. You know that, but the reward at the end, as you say, the feeling at the end, you feel great for the rest of the day.
No, it's fantastic, and yeah, it's good that a community as well. If you can build that, because I think there's obviously it's becoming a lot more popular now, which is good. But you see, especially this time of year, loads of people over in sort of Sydney, Melbourne, and all that. You see the running clubs; it looks fantastic, and that culture's here a wee bit as well. But if you can bring that more to Glasgow, I think that would be a good thing.
The thing about fitness and lifestyle now, it's such a thing that's just built into one. You never see as many people at the gym. You never see as many content and influencers, etc., content creators that you can make a living out of that. So I think grabbing onto it while it's hot, why not? That was kind of my grab. I thought, well, if other people can do it, have a go at it. There's no harm in trying. So having a community of people, because I was a solo runner till kind of recently, and I'm like, I could actually maybe do this with more people because I did enjoy it, and it's more, as you say, the hard part of it, not enjoying it. It's more fun when you don't really need to isolate yourself and just be you versus, obviously, as you versus you when you're on a race day, and I need to be ready for that. But I think the community side, it makes it more fun as well. So absolutely.
So the run club, will it be a sort of social community thing, or will you have some harder sessions as well for building speed? Will it be a mix of the two? What's the plan?
My plans are to try and focus on performance a little bit, but within the level of people. So spoke to my dad, some of his mates are interested, so see if that's your threshold or your level, you work at that. I'm not wanting to totally isolate people where you can only come if you're an elite athlete, because I'm no way an elite athlete yet at all. I want to get myself fitter and fitter. I've not had a good few years personally with fitness, to be honest. I'm back in it now, but it's going to be more sculpted to how can you move, and it's not going to be, you're doing it this day and it's this time and that time. I would like it to be quite free, and I'm quite a busy person. I don't get many nights free. So summertime it'll be probably a Wednesday night and a Sunday. But if there's a race day on, I would like that team of people to compete in the race day for that community. The vision's there. I'm not totally tied up in what I want it to be 100% yet, but I've got an idea and an understanding of what it's got to be. So I think personally it's just going to be something that represents what I like doing, and people can attach themselves to it if they want to. Fine if they don't, that's totally fine. But the whole idea is of that, I will back people that just want to get out and do it. Totally, see people that got the desire to go and push themselves. Great, you can be a part of that.
Get you a pair of running shoes and all.
Get you a pair of the Nova Blast Soul.
And the Superflies are Vaporflies are they're called.
I love that, yeah. And, well, this episode finished off with all types of exclusives, It's been a good little twist to the end of this. But Cole, it's been an absolute pleasure to catch up with you again. It's been
Appreciate it.
Cheers, Cole.
Good to see you again.
Yeah. Pleasure. So thanks for coming on, and we'll keep a keen eye out for everything to come up with you as well.
Thank you very much.
We certainly shall. Joga Bonito is finito.
Wow, that was good from you.